Ohoi gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking fans can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we're going to be calling the Hanshin Tigers versus the Orix Buffaloes. This game is going to be played in the Kisara Dome in Osaka, as both teams call Osaka their home. And we are going to give you the starting lineups, beginning with the visitors, the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off and playing in center field wearing number 5 is Koji Chikamoto. Batting second and playing shortstop wearing number 51 is Takuma Nakano. Batting third and playing first base wearing number 31 is Jeffrey Marte. In the cleanup spot and playing in right field is number 8, Teraki Sato. Batting fifth and playing second base wearing number 33 is Kento Itohara. Batting sixth and in left field wearing number 7 is Yoshio Itoe. Batting seventh and playing third base wearing number 3 is Yasuki Oyama. Batting eighth and doing the catching wearing number 2 is Ryotaro Umeno. And batting ninth and tonight's designated hitter wearing number 24 is Mel Rojas Jr. And they are going to face a right-hander as the Orix Buffaloes are going to send Soichiro Yamazaki to the mound. He will take the hill for his final tune-up before the NPB season gets going next Friday. And now for the home team, the lineup for the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing in center field wearing number 1 is Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 42, Ranhil Ravello. Batting third and in left field, wearing number 7, is Masataka Yoshida. In the cleanup spot and playing in right field, wearing number 99 is Yutaro Sugimoto. Batting fifth and playing third base, wearing number 6 is Yuma Mune. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, wearing number 24 is Kataro Kirbayashi. Batting seventh and playing second base wearing number 3 is Ryoshi Adachi. Batting eighth and doing the catching wearing number 2 is Kenya Wakatsaki. And batting ninth and playing first base wearing number 41 is Kodai Sano. And they are going to face a left-handed pitcher in Takuma Kirishaki as he takes to the hill for the Hanshin Tigers today. And so this game here is the second last game of the exhibition season that we will be doing. We'll be on the airwaves again tomorrow night as we will take care of one more game before we get the NPB season underway. Friday at midnight, Pacific time in North America, we will be calling the opening game of the season between the Chibalote Marines and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That game will be at midnight on Pacific time. That's Thursday to Friday morning. Wherever you're at, it'll be 3 a.m. Eastern time. And hopefully you can join us for that one. And so the pitcher for the Buffaloes here, which is Yamazaki, he is completing his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. Of course, the Orix Buffaloes last year had a great run. They made it all the way to the NPB championship. It was the first time in many years that the two last place teams from the prior season, being the Colt Swallows and the Orix Buffaloes, were able to get to the NPB final, and they squared off against one another. And so we're ready to get this one underway as Yamazaki has completed his warm-up tosses. And it is going to be Chikamoto, Nakano, and Marte to get things going. And the exhibition season so far, it's 9 for 32 for Chikamoto. He's going to stand in from the left side. He bats in the leadoff spot. He's the starting center fielder for the Tigers. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Last night, the game that we called the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks at the PayPay Dome had a very healthy crowd. They had over 22,000 in attendance. And there's a fastball. This is swung on, and it's lined over the head of the pitcher into center field, and Koji Chikamoto is aboard with a leadoff single here in the top of the first inning. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Takuma Nakano. It was a breaking ball that Yamazaki let hang up there, and Chikamoto did a pretty good job of staying back on the ball He drove right back through the box, and of course, he is aboard with a base hit here. Chikamoto can run a little bit, so we're going to have to keep our eye on him. He establishes his lead at first base. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt. Yamazaki gets a sign from his catcher, and he fires over to first base, and diving back in plenty of time is Chikamoto. For Nakano, in the exhibition season, he's only 1 for 4. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. This is his 5th at bat. And there is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakano hitting from the left side against the righty Yamazaki. Yamazaki stands very upright on the mound. He gets the sign from his catcher. He goes back to work, and there's a fastball that's delivered and taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Playing in the Kisara Dome, it is a nice, perfect 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball delivered. It's tap foul on the first base side. Chikamoto was running on the pitch, and he's going to have to come back to first base. A little bit of a late jump for the base runner. Did not get off to a good start. It's a little bit surprised he didn't shut her down. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Nakano. Tigers are wearing their gray uniforms with black pinstripes. And CV baseball card collector is in the house, and they fire over to first base. And again, Chikamoto goes diving back in time. So Nakano has the 1-2 count on him, and Yamazaki ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count runs even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned earlier, this is the last tune-up game for these 2 teams. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. We have 1 more exhibition game to call. It'll be between the Occult Swallows and the Saitama Sea Blue Lions. There's a fastball, and this is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. And the count remains at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He comes set again at the belt. He checks the runner, Chikamoto, at first. And he fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. Chikamoto is getting a little slow to get to his feet. Looks like he may have got some dirt in his face or in his eyes. And now he's ready to come back again. Here we go. And Chikamoto again establishes his lead in a kick and deliver. It's a fastball that misses down. And the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Nakano has worked the count to full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki back to work. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. And the count remains at 3-2 to Nakano. Yamazaki has definitely not been efficient in his pitches. He's had to work a little bit here in the first inning. Again, Chikamoto establishes his lead, and he's got 1 foot on the turf. Yamazaki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to second. Chikamoto was running on the play. It's fielded neatly by the second baseman, Adachi. Flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Nakano on a ground out 4-3. But Chikamoto is going to advance to second base, and that's going to bring up the 3-hole hitter, Jeffrey Marte. For Jeffrey Marte, he's had himself a couple of fine seasons in the NPB. He spent some time in the major leagues with the Angels and the Tigers, amongst other organizations. Marte bats from the right side. He's got a slightly open stance, and they're ready to go. Here comes a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Last year, there was a bit of a logjam in Hanshin. They had a number of import players. And of course, the survivor out of this is Jeffrey Marte. They had Jerry Sands. They'd also brought in Justin Bohr. And they had a couple of other players too. Of course, they have Rojas at the bottom of the order, and they were all fighting for 3 spots in the lineup. And there's a fastball delivered and taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-2. This is the 4th season for Marte in Japan. Last year, he appeared in 128 games. He had 526 plate appearances with 446 official at-bats. He batted only .258, but he did hit 22 homers and knocked in 71 runs. So no balls and 2 strikes to Marte. Marte asks for time and steps out of the box. Yamazaki is ready to go back to work. The runner at second is Chikamoto. There is 1 away. Yamazaki checks the runner, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away to the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. That pitch was a little bit up and out of the zone, it looked like, but probably too close to take for Marte. So no balls and 2 strikes to Marte. Teraki Sato will wait his turn on deck. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count now goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marte. Marte gets himself dug in at the plate. He's got a slightly open stance. Yamazaki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away. And the count now runs even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. They've got the outfield actually playing more to the opposite way, shading the opposite way. The left fielder is straight away. The center fielder and right fielder are shading Marte to right center field. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now runs full. So Marte has battled the count to 3-2. Yamazaki gets his sign from the catcher. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball delivered. It is swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. And we're going to do the 3-2 pitch all over again. There's a healthy crowd tonight in Osaka at the Kisara Dome. We'll get the attendance later in the game for everybody. As we mentioned last night, 22,000 plus in attendance for the game between Fukuoka and Hiroshima. The crowd tonight is fairly decent, unlike some of the earlier games that we watched. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded on 1 hop to the second baseman, Adachi. He drops to 1 knee to field it, and he throws to first. And that's going to retire Marte. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. So both outs have come the same way on ground outs to second. That's going to advance Chikamoto over to third. And that's going to leave it up to Teraki Sato. Sato is going to be in his second year this year. He was a rookie last season. He flashes a lot of power. He is a youngster. Taken number 1 in the 2020 draft by Hanshin. Exhibition season, he's batting .348 with a couple of homers and 11 RBIs. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. Last season, Sato had 425 at-bats. He had 101 hits. He batted only .238. He just turned 23 years old earlier this week. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. He's a strong, burly young fella. We were talking a little bit yesterday of players that I think that when you're looking at Major League Baseball prospects, you would have to think that Sato would have to fall into that category. He is definitely one to keep an eye on over the next few years, much like Seiya Suzuki, who made the jump in the last couple of weeks to the Chicago Cubs, or this past week to the Cubs. When it is time for Sato to become posted, I would not be surprised that he will want to explore the major leagues. There's a fastball. This is swung on. It's grounded deep to second base. Adachi ranges to his right. He fields it, throws off 1 foot, and he's able to retire Sato. So Adachi busy on all the plays this inning. And again, goes down as a ground out, 4-3 for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Hanshin Tigers in their half of the first inning. They got no runs. They had 1 hit on the leadoff single by Koji Chikamoto. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Hanshin Tigers, nothing. The Orix Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us or on delay for some Saturday evening baseball in North America. Hold tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning, and it is a little bit of a delay as the Hanshin Tigers wanted to see that last play reviewed as Sato got down the line pretty good. Unfortunately, we agreed with the umpire. He was out by half step, and that's what it showed on the replay. So it was all for nothing. They burned a replay here in the top of the first. I guess it was worth it because if they would have succeeded or maybe saw something different, they would have been able to cash that run in from first base. So it is going to be the top of the order, obviously, coming up for Orix here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to be Shuhei Fukuda, Ranhel Rivero, and Masataka Yoshida to get things going. And they are going to be facing number 47, Takuma Kirishiki. The youngster is 22 years old, and he is going to be taking to the hill to get his first inning of work in here. Defensively for the Tigers, around the outfield from left to right, it'll be Itoi in left. The center fielder is Chikamoto. Sato is in right. From first to third, it is going to be Jeffrey Marte at first base. The second baseman is Kento Itohara. The shortstop tonight is Takuma Nakano, and the third baseman is Yasuki Oyama. Behind the plate is Ryotaro Umeno, and of course, Takuma Kirishiki is on the hill. So that is how the lineup is going to shape up tonight for the Hanshin Tigers defensively. The Orix Buffaloes, of course, the defending Central League champions, and the first pitch to Fukuda is a fastball that misses in. And it is now 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Fukuda gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. To Fukuda, and it is a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. The count's 1-1. So Kirishiki on the mound today. He gets the start for the Tigers. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on, and it is lifted foul over to third base side again, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Curious to see what the actual temperature is at the field here. You can see some steam rising off the pitcher. There is a breaking ball, and that is missing down and away, and the count is now 1-2. Game the other night that we saw between the Saitama Cebu Lions and the Tokyo Yakult Swallows, even though it's played in a dome stadium, it was an open air concept, so there's a lot of air circulating around. You can see the player's breath. A little bit chilly. So here comes the pitch, the 1-2 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. Even though it was a healthy crowd at the PayPay Dome last night, there's not a lot of people seating in the upper deck here. A lot of people in the lower level. So curious to see what the attendance for tonight will show. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And Fukuda watches that one bounce in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kirishiki gets a new baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher, Umeno, and he kicks and delivers, and it's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 3-2. Kirishiki was taken in the 3rd place of the 2021 NPB draft. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. And racing over is the left fielder, Itoi, but he's going to watch that sail into the seats, and it's going to keep the count at 3-2. He has not pitched in a NPB game yet. He went to Niigata University of Health and Welfare. He was a high school student at Honjo Higashi High School. He's 22 years old. He'll be 23 later in June, and there's a fastball swung on, and this is ripped foul down the left field line. It bounces off the temporary seating. And the count is going to remain at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kirishiki gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and Fukuda has battled himself to a base on balls. That's a 10-pitch at bat to get things going here. Nice job by Fukuda. As he takes his batting gloves off, he's going to make his way to first base. When I look at Kirishiki and you try to project players and how they look, he looks like he's a guy that may be better suited long-term for the bullpen. He's very broad in the shoulders. He doesn't seem to have big legs, but very broad across his shoulders. That's going to bring up the designated hitter tonight, Rangel Ravello. Ravello is 1 for 7 in the exhibition season. He joined the Buffaloes late last year. He only had a couple at bats before they got into the Japan series. So Kirishiki delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away at the feet of the hitter, and the count is now quickly 0-1 to Ravello. Ravello spent time in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, and he was playing very well in AAA last year, really swinging the bat well. In fact, he was batting upwards of around 400 in AAA. The opportunity for him to go overseas happened, and the Dodgers let him have his release. There was no real opportunity last year for him in a Dodger uniform. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. This is a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to deep left field. Moving back on the warning track is the left fielder, and that is going to be hauled in by Itoi, and it is just going to be a long out for Ravello. He's just missed it, got underneath it. But he sent that one a long way, and it is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. That is a loud out. He absolutely scorched that one. Sent it right to the base of the wall, as Itoi had to kind of use the wall to brace himself to make the grab. And the runner is Fukuda, stays at first base. And that's going to bring up the hitting machine, Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida hits from the left side. He won the batting championship a couple of years ago in the Pacific League. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yoshida in the exhibition play is 4 for 20, a little slow to get things going. He's got no homers and 1 run batted in. But it is likely that he is going to carry on as he did last year. Last year, he ended up hitting 339. He did have an injury as he was hit by a pitch. I believe he had a broken hand last year as he fouls a fastball away and the count goes to 0-2. Took a pitch at the end of the bat. Ended up with a broken bone in his hand, or at least a contusion. He only appeared in 110 games last season. So no balls and 2 strikes. Comes the pitch from Kirishiki. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 1-2. But back to Yoshida. Last year, he hit 21 homers, batted 339. The year before, he hit 350. His power numbers were slightly back up. The year before that, in 2019, he hit 29. In 2018, he hit 26 home runs. Of course, he played 143 games that year. The pitcher, Kirishiki, flips it over to first base, and diving back in time is Fukuda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yoshida. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. It is a nothing ball game. There is 1 away, and here comes the 1-2 to Yoshida. And instead, Kirishiki kicks and throws it over to first base. And diving back in time is the base runner, Fukuda. Yoshida stands right at the back of the batter's box. He's very rigid at the plate. His legs are very stiff. He doesn't look like he's very fluid. His hands are a little lower than most. There's a breaking ball. This one is swung on. It's on the fists. It's hit to the third baseman. It's caught in the air easily by Oyama. He flips it over to first, and that is how the bottom half of the first is going to end, on a double play. So lining into the double play, 5-3 is Yoshida. He was the second out of the inning. Fukuda was on the run. He is out number 3. And so for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the first inning, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1 complete in Osaka. It's the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second inning in just a couple moments. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher, a supporter of our channel. After the game, be sure to go check out his channel and give him your support too.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the second inning. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming to bat for the Hanshin Tigers. Kento Itohara is leading it off. He'll be followed by Yoshi Itoi, and then it'll be Yusuke Oyama. And the first pitch delivered from Yamazaki is a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Working from the windup and going back to work is Yamazaki. He delivers a fastball. This is swung on and lifted foul on the third base side. It's just going to get beyond the temporary seating, and that is going to reach the seats, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Itohara. Itohara slightly chokes up on the bat. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. This is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. This one's going to reach the seats. The count's going to remain at 0-2. Found it interesting that the Tigers were using Mel Rojas Jr. as the DH and batting him ninth tonight. Although I have to say, this may be the opening day lineup that the Hanshin Tigers are using. And because the pitchers bat in the Central League, maybe that's why they have Rojas hitting last. And there is a fastball swung on. This is grounded slowly over on the third base line. Mune's got a charge. He fields it backhanded across the diamond, and it is not going to be in time. That's going to be a base hit for Itohara. It was almost self-defense. He threw the bat at it. Mune charged it, got it on the dirt, had to throw on the run, and safely getting to first base is Itohara. And he is aboard with a single. And that is going to bring up Yoshi Itoi. Itoi bats from the left side. He's a big fella. He's got a shin guard on his right leg. And the first pitch he sees, he swings at, and he pops it up. It's in the infield. Moving over underneath it is Yuma Mune. He's called everybody off. He's going to make the catch. And on one pitch, Itoi is retired for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yusuke Oyama. I think that Itoi would want to have that one back. I'd like to see a little bit more of Itoi. He's a big fella on the left side. Of course, one at bat does not tell the whole story. So with one away, here comes Oyama, and the first pitch delivered to him is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Saying earlier about projectable players, and we said Teruaki Sato, the right fielder for Hanshin. I'm sure he's going to get a long look at for Major League Baseball. And there is a fastball that is delivered, and this one is going to reach the seats down the third base line. And the count is going to go even at 1-1. One would also think the third baseman for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows, or Kami, might be somebody else that would be of interest. So 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 strike. That was the 29th pitch delivered so far by Yamazaki. He has not been very efficient in his inning and a third of work. There's the 2-1 pitch, and there's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 strike to Oyama. Waiting on deck is the catcher, Umeno. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This is tap foul just to the third base side of home plate. That's going to run the count full to Oyama. Oyama gets himself dug in. He stands right at the back of the batter's box. He's got a slightly open stance. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher. He delivers. There's a fastball and is missed upstairs. And Oyama's going to get himself a 1-out walk. It's going to advance Itohara to second. That is going to bring up the catcher, Ryotaro Umeno. So Yamazaki's having some difficulties locating his pitches here in the early going. Hasn't quite settled in yet. So with one away, they've got runners on first and second. The runner at second is Itohara. The runner at first is Oyama. Umeno is the catcher, and he comes to the plate. He's ready to get things going, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. One thing we've noticed with some of the teams in the NPB, you see a lot of bunting. In the preseason, there has been bunting, but not as much as one might expect during the regular season. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Swinging the bats, their bunting is not in mid-season form. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamazaki checks the runner at second. He delivers, and swung on and fouled into the shin guard that Umeno wears on his left leg, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mel Rojas Jr. waits his turn on deck. If they can keep this conga line going. Also curious to see how many pitches they let the starters go tonight. We've been seeing in the last few games that they've been letting them go 80 to 100 pitches. And there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the hitter Umeno. Right-hander Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher. He comes set at the belt. He checks the runner Itohara at second. He delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly to third. Mune fields it. He goes across the diamond, but not in time for the double play. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice to 5. Nice play and good heads-up thinking by Mune that he had a shot across the diamond, but also good hustle down the line by Umeno. Mune had to sit back on it as the ball had to take its bounce. He fielded it. He was able to get the runner Itohara at third, who was erased on the fielder's choice for the second out of the inning. Umeno, with his wheels for a catcher, runs fairly well for a catcher, got down the line and was able to stay out of the double play. And that's going to bring up Mel Rojas Jr. In the exhibition season, he is 8 for 36. He's batting .222. He's got no homers and 5 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Rojas, of course, played in the Korean League a couple of years ago, and he bounced over to the Japanese League last year. Got himself a nice contract. Rojas and Marte, the 2 import players in the lineup tonight for Hanshin. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2 to Rojas Jr. Yamazaki's had a hard time putting away hitters tonight, as has his counterpart, Kirishiki. When they do get ahead in the count, they can't seem to finish them off. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. That one got up to 94 miles an hour on the gun. And Rojas goes down on strike swinging for out number 3. And so for the Hanshin Tigers in their half of the second inning, they had no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through an inning and a half. It is the Hanshin Tigers, nothing. The Orix Buffaloes, nothing. Stick around. Everybody will be back with the call at the bottom of the second inning. Just a couple moments. Here is our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That is our friend Matt Hollis. After the game, be sure to check out another Hollis build. He is a San Diego native, and he's got all kinds of crazy stuff. He likes his baseball cards. He likes his Padres, but he also likes his animals and his city. So be sure to check him out once this game is finished. We're now moving to the bottom of the second inning. It is going to be the Orix Buffaloes' heart of their batting order coming to bat. And that means it's going to be Yutaro Sugimoto, Yuma Mune, and Kataro Kobayashi to face the left-hander Takuma Kirishiki. And as we mentioned, Kirishiki, he had a easy first inning as he began the ball game with a 10-pitch at bat to Shuhei Fukuda. And then Rivero, he was able to easily retire. And then he got Masataka Yoshida to line into a double play. So he had some help, but he was not particularly sharp. So here we go, ready to go back to the live action. In the exhibition season, Sugimoto is 10 for 40 at the plate. He gets himself dug in. He's a right-handed stick. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Kirishiki gets the sign from his catcher, Imeno, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's fouled away behind the third base side of home plate. The count now runs to 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. Kirishiki gets the sign from his catcher. He kicks and delivers, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. As we mentioned, the Buffaloes last year, there were a few changes in their lineup. Obviously, a couple of the import players last year who they had. Adam Jones is no longer with the club. He is officially retired. Steven Moya, the big first baseman outfielder, he is no longer with the club. So Rangel Rivero has one of the international roster spots. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Sugimoto goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning, as he has been retired, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. For Yuma Mune, he was a breakout player for the Buffaloes last year. He gets the start at third base tonight. He played some third base. He played a little bit in the outfield last year. And he really started to swing the bat well for the Buffaloes. And, of course, that can make some of the import players expendable when you have domestic guys that are producing. So left-hander against the left-hander, and the first pitch delivered to Mooney is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Mooney is 8 for 28 in the exhibition season. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. He's not a big fella. And so there is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Mooney. So here comes the 1-1, and Kirishiki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It's fielded neatly by the second baseman, Itohara. He throws over to first, and that's going to retire Mune. That goes as a ground out, 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi is another young player in the lineup of the Orix Buffaloes. He just turned 20 years old. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that's down in the dirt, but they said he offered at it. And it is a strike 0-1 to Kobayashi. He was a second round pick in the 2019 draft by the Buffaloes. This is his third season where he's going to get meaningful at bats. And there's a fastball. This is swung on. It is popped up just behind second base. Moving over underneath it is the second baseman, Itohara. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it for Kobayashi. He is retired for the third out of the inning. And so for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the second, they had no runs, there were no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the third inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us. Here's one of our Japanese Hall of Fame moments. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the third inning, and it's going to be the top of the order coming up for the Hanshin Tigers. That means it's going to be Koji Chikamoto, Takuma Nakano, and Jeffrey Marte to get things going here against the right-hander Soichiro Yamazaki. And the first pitch to Chikamoto is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Chikamoto tonight is 1 for 1. He had a single back to center field right through the box his first time up. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to the starting center fielder for the Tigers, Chikamoto. Chikamoto's got a slightly open stance. He chokes up off the end of the bat, and there's the fastball delivered, and it's fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Chikamoto. Last season, Chikamoto has been off to slow starts the last couple of years. He's always had his challenges early in the season, but once he gets going, he really gets it going. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. And we say that because Chikamoto started off, I think it was last season, where he had a stretch of about 20 at-bats where he just didn't do anything, but he ended up raising his average to .313 by the end of the year. And here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner. And the count now runs full to 3-2. He's got a little bit of home run power. He's only hit 10 home runs last year, was the most he's ever hit. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side. Keeps the count at 3-2. But he can run a bit. He had 36 stolen bases his rookie year in 2019. He had 31 in 2020, and last year he had 24. So I don't know if that's because he's losing a bit of a step. There's a fastball that swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded neatly by Adachi. He flips it over to first, and Chikamoto is going to be retired on a ground out, 4-3, for out number 1 here in the third inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Takuma Nakano. Nakano tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up. As we said earlier, it'll be curious to see how far these starting pitchers are going to be allowed to go. 80 to 100 pitches seems to be the mark, as this is the last game before the preseason. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike by Nakano, and the count is 0-1. Nakano is 1 for 5 in the exhibition season. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. Here's the pitch from Yamazaki that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. So much like the other exhibition games, we anticipate by about the 6th or 7th inning, our scorecard will turn into a coloring book because they'll be emptying the benches. There's a breaking ball. This is swung on. It is lifted into left field. Racing over toward the foul line and sliding is the left fielder Yoshida. We're going to see if he is hanging on to make the grab. And it looks like he has. He's got a smile on his face. Is that going to be it? We haven't seen the signal from the umpire. He really had to go on his horse. He had to slide once he got to the foul line. No, he didn't make the grab. He was unable to hang on as that ball had hit the ground. We lost sight of it down the line. Get a different angle on it. And Yoshida, just as he slides, because the wall comes into place pretty quickly. It's only about 8 feet from the foul line to the wall. So back to the live action, and Nakano swings and fouls that one away over on the third base side. The count is 1-2. Yoshida is not exactly a gold glove defender in left field, and nor is Rangel Ravello, who had an opportunity to play there a little bit last year in the playoffs. We've seen him. Neither one of those two necessarily fielded their positions particularly well. So here comes the 1-2 pitch all over again. Yamazaki delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 2-2. That's the 53rd pitch delivered by Yamazaki in the ball game. And we're only here with 1 out in the third inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly to second. It's fielded by Adachi. He throws to first, and again, he is going to go down as a 4-3 ground out for out number 2. Adachi has been busy tonight. That's his 5th assist, and we're only 2 2/3 innings into the ball game. That is going to leave it up to the first baseman, Jeffrey Marte. Marte tonight is also 0 for 1. He also grounded to second base his first time up. He is 8 for 40 in the exhibition season. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. He's batting an even 200. Here comes the pitch from Yamazaki. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Marte. I'll be curious to see if the Buffaloes can repeat their success from 2021. They do still have a young team, but they've lost some of the veteran presence in the locker room. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. As we mentioned before, the import players of Adam Jones and Stephen Moya are gone. Tyler Higgins has also made his way back to the United States. I believe he's in San Diego Padre camp right now. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. The count is 1-2 to Marte. The infield is deep for Marte. The shortstop and second baseman are a good 4 or 5 steps onto the outfield turf. Third baseman Mune is a few steps behind the bag as well. There's a breaking ball that misses down in the dirt. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher. Wakatsuki is ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung. It's tapped slowly over to third. Nice play by Mune, who flips it sidearm over to first. Made that play look very easy. It's a ground out 5-3. For out number 3 here in the third inning, and that is going to do it for the Tigers. So in their half of the third, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes nothing, the Hanshin Tigers nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the third inning. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for Orix in their half of the third inning. That's going to be Ryoshi Adachi, Kenya Wakatsuki, and Kodai Sano to face the left-hander Takuma Kirishiki for the Tigers. They have sent the minimum amount of batters to the plate in the first 2 innings, have the Buffaloes. A leadoff walk by Shuhei Fukuda, but he was doubled off as Masataka Yoshida lined into a double play to end the first inning. And in the middle, the second inning, it was 1-2-3 action. And so the lefty here, Kirishiki, has seemed to settle in. He throws from the stretch position. And here we go. He kicks and delivers. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Adachi. Adachi in the exhibition season is 4 for 20. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs. And the 1-0 pitch is delivered. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded neatly by the shortstop Nakano. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Adachi. And he is gone on a ground out, 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Fairly efficient now so far for the lefty Kirishiki. He had that big battle with Fukuda to start the ball game. But since then, he has only thrown 27 pitches total. And you take away 10 from the first at bat, he's been around the zone to the hitters. And here's the first pitch delivered to Wakatsuki, and he bunts it. He's trying to get his way on, and it ends up going foul down the third base line. And the count to him, it's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki bats from the right side. He's getting the start behind the plate tonight for the Buffaloes. He's got a very open stance. He holds his hands away from his body and he dives into the pitch, and it's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball. This is swung on and is hammered through the 6-hole into left field. Wakatsuki is aboard with a base hit. And he is now going to be aboard, and that will bring up Kodai Sano. Looks like we may have a defensive change for the Hanshin Tigers. We'll have to get it for you when it comes up, but it does look like Jeffrey Marte may be finished for the night. We've not had the official announcement yet, but it looks like they have gone to the bench. And it is Yasuhiro Yamamoto into the ball game now for Marte. So here comes Kodai Sano to the plate. He sees the first pitch. He swings at and he fouls it away. He's 3 for 13 in the exhibition season. He's got no homers and no RBIs. Quickly, the count for Sano is 0-1 on that foul ball. So the runner at first is Wakatsuki. Sano is hitting in the 9-hole spot. As we mentioned last night, a lot of these guys, they get their token 1 or 2 at bats, and then they come out of the ball game. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away over on the first base side, and the count now is 0-2 to Sano. So no balls and 2 strikes. Sano bats from the right side. Kirishiki gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball. This is swung on, and it is fouled off over on the first base side, and the count remains at 0-2. Kirishiki ready to go back to work as he gets the sign from his catcher. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Sano. He checks the runner at first. He kicks and delivers. It is swung on. It's grounded slowly over to the first baseman, Yamamoto, who fields it. He flips it to Kirishiki covering. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. That's going to advance Wakatsuki to second. And that is going to bring up the top of the order, Shuhei Fukuda. Sano, it was almost self-defense. The pitch was an inside fastball. He really did a good job of pulling his hands in to fight the pitch off, and he was able to advance the runner. So it ended up being a productive at-bat for Sano. It was not particularly a great swing, but he was able to do his job. So now they have a runner at first, and that brings up the top of the order. Fukuda is 13 for 42 in exhibition play. He's hitting .310. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He chokes up off the end of the bat. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up, and the count is now 1-0. We've got Steve Rademacher in the house. If you guys are interested in his channel, there's the link. We ran one of his infomercials a little earlier. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff. Be sure to check him out. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1 on Fukuda. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The crowd is starting to bang their sticks together. It's generally a reserve crowd tonight. There's not a lot of noise going on in some of the areas. They're holding up their flags. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted in the seats on the third base side. And the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just as it's an exhibition game for these two teams, it's also an exhibition game for us, giving us an opportunity to get back into the saddle to call some games, as we are going to be doing some MLB games this year as well as the Japanese League. And there's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and Fukuda goes down on strikes looking. He's not sure about that one, but the umpire sure is. He's going to keep this conga line moving. That is the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the 3rd inning, they had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left the board. We're now through 3 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the middle 3 frames in just a couple moments after this. We'll be right here. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 4th inning, and we've got ourselves a 0-0 scoreline between the Orix Buffaloes and the Hanshin Tigers. And it is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for Hanshin. It's going to be Teruaki Sato, Kento Itohara, and Yoshio Itoi. And this part of the order here is still going to be facing the right-hander Soichiro Yamazaki. As we mentioned the first time through the order, we were saying about players that are major league caliber potential prospects. This is one of them, Sato at the plate. And he takes a fastball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. One thing I would say is that he strikes out a little too much for my liking. He had a stretch last season where he did not reach base for a number of at-bats in a row. It was something god-awful. But there is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 2-0. But with that being with young hitters, one would think that if he could cut down on his strikeouts, improve his discipline at the plate, there's a lot to like about this young fella. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1. So he is a very, very, very intriguing looking player. Be curious to see how he develops over the next couple of seasons. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted into center field. Coming over on it is the center fielder, Fukuda. He's going to make the catch. The one thing he does have down, that was quite the bat flip getting out of the box. He took that swing, and as he was racing out of the box, he doesn't just lay the bat down. He is able to do one heck of a flip. That's something you see in the Asian leagues where when they're running out of the box, whether it's a home run or whether it's a fly ball, they'll do these bat flips. And there's a first pitch delivered to Itohara, taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. And he definitely had that down. There's a fastball delivered to Itohara. This ball is swung on. It is hit into right center field. Ranging to his left is Fukuda. He's going to make the grab. And That's going to be 2 up and 2 away here in the 4th inning, and that's going to leave it up to Yoshio Itoi. Itoi is 0 for 1 today. He flew out. He popped out to the third baseman his first time up. He is officially 0 for 1. This is another intriguing player. He's the left fielder for the Hanshin Tigers, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. And when I say intriguing, I mean intriguing in terms of his physical size and stature. He also bats from the left side, but he is a little bit older. He's probably at this point in his career not a prospect, being that he's been around in the league for a number of years. He was with the Hokkaido nippon-ham Fighters for quite a while. Then he went to the Orix Buffaloes, and now he calls the Hanshin Tigers home. But when you look at and you think of players for their physical size, this would be one of them right there. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0 to Itoi. The prototypical Japanese players are not that big. They're a little bit on the smaller side. The Shohei Otanis do not come around all the time, and there is a fastball delivered. It's low. They appeal down to the third base umpire, but they say Itoi didn't go, and he is aboard with a walk here. So a 2-out walk. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Yusuke Oyama. And that is going to do it for Itoi. We have a pinch runner coming into the game for him. And we'll get you that in a moment. Number 38, it looks like it's Ryuhei Obata. Be interested to see if Obata stays in the game or not. He is listed as an infielder. Maybe he's just in to run and they'll make a substitute elsewhere later. So the first pitch to Oyama is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yamazaki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So he has just delivered 6 balls in a row, and his catcher, Wakatsuki, calls time and goes out to talk to the young right-hander. Settle him down a little bit. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yamazaki back on the rubber, ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1 to Oyama. Oyama today is officially 0 for 0 because he walked his first time up. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Saki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. We looked at that on the replay, and that pitch didn't look all that bad. We just missed that one. So here's the 3-1. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now runs full to Oyama. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oyama digs in. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher, Wakatsuki. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Oyama goes down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Hanshin Tigers, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're now through 3.5 innings. It is the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the call at the bottom of the 4th inning after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
After the game, be sure to check out Matt Hollis and his channel, Another Hollis Build. It is why we enjoy doing this stuff. Matt is checking in from time to time. Congratulations to him as he reached his 1,000 subscriber mark earlier this year, and he surpassed that. So congratulations to you, Matt. That's a lot of hard work to be able to get there. And now we're ready to get this one back underway. There's a few changes for the Tigers. We'll have to get to those as they become available to us. And so we are going to be checking that in a minute. But we've got the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Orix batting order coming to bat. Rangel Ravello, Masataka Yoshida, and Yutaro Sugimoto. That's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters are set to get things going. And the first pitch to Ravello is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Ravello is 0 for 1 today. He smoked the ball to the deepest part of left field, right to the warning track. He is 0 for 1. He's 1 for 8 in the spring training. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. As we mentioned, his first time up, Ravello really had a strong AAA season last year with the Dodgers, but he was pretty much blocked. There was really no place for him, and he ended up getting his release, and he was allowed to sign with a Japanese team. And there's a fastball that swung on. This ball is drilled into right center field. It's going to get down, and it's up against off the wall. Digging for 2 is Ravello, and he's going to go in standing up. So he's got a leadoff double here to begin the 4th inning. That ball was hit into right center field. It got up the gap. Koji Chikamoto had to chase it down. He was able to get it in. That was a belt-high fastball on the outer part of the plate. Ravello did a great job of staying inside the ball, letting it travel deep, and driving it the other way. The ball ends up getting off the wall, and he's doing the fist pump and the knee pump and all the rest of that stuff as he stands in at second base. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida today is 0 for 1. He lined into a double play his first time up. He's 4 for 21 in the exhibition season. Takes a first pitch fastball off the plate. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be interesting to see how this young lefty fares against the experience of the middle part of the batting order the second time through. Kirishiki did well to settle down, but now that they've had a chance to see him, be interesting to see how they react to him. And there's a fastball that catches the inside corner. Count is 1-1. Obviously, Ravello smoking the ball off the wall in right center field. Yoshida gets himself dug in. Batting on the left side of the plate. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. It's going to hang up. It's caught by Chikamoto. And Ravello is going to have to retreat to second base. He just maybe hit that one a little bit too hard, a little too firm, and a little too straight away. I think if he would have been more to the pole side, they may have wanted to challenge the arm of Chikamoto, especially if it was more toward the right center field gap. So that is out number 1, and that's going to bring up Yutaro Sugimoto. Sugimoto is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He got the start in right field. The St. Louis Cardinals fan and Blue Jays fan is in the house. Welcome. Sugimoto is 10 for 41 in the exhibition season. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The crowd is a little bit more active than they have been. Got some claps and some cheers going. It's been a rather docile crowd for what I would call an Osaka derby today. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken on the inside corner, and the count is 1-1. Even though they both play in the same city, they play in 2 different venues. Kyocera Dome is mostly called home by the Orix Buffaloes, although they do play some home games in Kobe. The Hanshin Tigers, of course, call the Koshin Stadium their home. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Sugimoto didn't like the call. He does a full walkabout outside the batter's box. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Sugimoto stands in. Lefty Kurashiki gets the sign from his catcher. It's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled straight back, right to the backstop, and the count remains at 1-2. We've seen some impressive stuff from this lefty tonight. As we said, once he was able to settle down, it looks like he's more for his command and control. I haven't seen a lot of late life on his pitches, specifically his fastballs. Not a lot of run, not a lot of cut. But he's been able to hit his spots effectively, keep the hitters off balance. I'll be curious to see how he projects this year for the big club. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch to Sugimoto. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base line, and the count remains again at 2-2. As we mentioned, the NPB season all gets going. It's going to be midnight Pacific time on Friday, next week, the 25th. We'll be on the air calling the game between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chibalote Marines. Hopefully you can all join us then. We're excited for the start of the NPB. Major League Baseball, of course, starts a couple of weeks after that. So we'll have a full slate of games under our belt by then. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. And Sugimoto is retired for out number 2 here. He's not overly enthused about that call, but it was a nice pitch. It's the second time Sugimoto has gone down on strikes. I can kind of understand maybe why he wasn't enthused, because the catcher was definitely set up inside. He had to reach across his body to make the catch, to catch the pitch. Sure didn't look like a great pitch, but upon replay, it did cross the plate. So that is the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Mune tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up. And the first pitch to Mune is swung on. This is lifted into right field. Moving over to his left toward the foul line is Sato. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it. So for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the 4th inning, they had no runs. There was 1 hit, the leadoff double by Ravello. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We are now through 4 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers. Nothing. The Orix Buffaloes, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with a call at the top of the 5th inning. After this, we're glad you guys could tune in tonight. Welcome back, everybody. There are going to be some changes in the lineup for the Hanshin Tigers. Batting in the 5th spot, now moving into left field, is Dan Onodera. He is going to be taking his act over there, and we have a new second baseman. And the second baseman is going to be Ryuhei Obata. He's going to hit in the 6th spot, and he's going to replace Yoshio Itoi. And Itoi is done for the ball game after he had that walk in the last one. So Ryuhei Obata will hit 3rd in the inning, and Onodera will hit 2nd. And here we go, ready to get this one back into play. But it is Ryotaro Umeno, Mel Rojas Jr., and Koji Chikamoto to get things going. And the first pitch to Umeno is a fastball taken for a ball, and it is ball 1. So we're back underway again, and here's another pitch from Yamazaki. It is a fastball upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So let's make sure we got everything clear here. Umeno, Rojas Jr. in the top of the order. Chikamoto are slated to come to bat. And there are 2 substitutions now in the batting order for the Tigers. So here's the 2-0 pitch from Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. So we want to make sure that we have all of our changes updated. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right center field. Moving over is the right fielder, Sugimoto. He's going to make the grab. That is going to put Umeno away for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Mel Rojas Jr. For Mel Rojas Jr., he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Batting in the 9th spot, we suggested that maybe the lineup that they featured tonight would have been the opening day lineup, and of course the pitchers bat in the 9 hole. Rojas is 8 for 37 here in the exhibition season. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that just misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-0. Mel Rojas Jr., of course, came over last year to the Tigers after being an MVP in the Korean League. There is a difference between the Korean League and the Japanese League in terms of quality of play, and there is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. It's fielded neatly by the first baseman, Sano. He flips it over to the pitcher, Yamazaki, covering, and that's going to go down as a ground out. 1-3 for out number 2. That's going to bring up the top of the order, Koji Chikamoto. But as we said, there is a definite difference between the KBO and the NPB. The KBO, got a chance to watch some of the games on ESPN a couple of years ago, and there are some real quality teams in the KBO. You get some really high-end quality teams, and then you get down to the lower teams, and it's like you've got 2 or 3 players that are major league quality. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Chikamoto. You got 2 or 3 players that are maybe AAA or AA quality. And then maybe some guys that are college quality. And then you got a couple of guys that are high-end high school quality. And it just falls off pretty quickly. There's a breaking ball down to Chikamoto, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Chikamoto tonight is 1 for 2. He singled to center his first time up, and he grounded to second his last time up. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to first. Sano fields it neatly, picks it up, steps on the bag, and that is going to do it. It was a very quick inning for the Hanshin Tigers. They go down 1-2-3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 4.5. It's the Hanshin Tigers, nothing. The Orix Buffaloes, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning. After this, we're glad you guys could stop in tonight. Or if you're listening on delay, thanks for tuning in later. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters slated to come to bat for Orix. That means it's going to be Kotaro Kobayashi, Ryoshi Adachi, and Kenya Wakatsuki. So that is 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. They are facing the lefty Takuma Kirishiki, who's had a pretty decent outing so far. He's thrown 52 pitches through 4 innings. He's only allowed a couple of hits, and he has been able to keep the hitters off balance. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. The 10 pitches of those 52 came to Shuhei Fukuda to lead off the ball game. And once he has settled down, he's been able to pitch effectively. So 52 pitches through his first 4 innings of work. Very, very good. And so now we are ready to go back to work. The lefty gets the assign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So Kotaro Kobayashi, as we said, he just turned 20 years old. He's 9 for 26. He's batting .346 in exhibition play. And there is a breaking ball that's down, and the count is 1-1. Kobayashi saw regular playing time last year for the Buffaloes. One would expect he's going to be around for quite a while. When you look at certain players, you wonder how they fill out their uniforms. I'm not sure if Kobayashi looks like somebody who's going to be playing shortstop for a long time. They might move him to a corner. There's a fly ball lifted to right field. Moving over is the right fielder Sato. It camps out underneath it, and he makes the grab, and that is going to retire Kobayashi. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryoshi Adachi. Adachi has been a busy man on the defensive side. He's got himself 5 assists so far tonight. At the plate, he is 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. And the first pitch delivered to Adachi is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ryo Adachi. He's 4 for 21 in the exhibition season. He's batting .191 with no homers and 4 RBIs. There's a fastball that misses just off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirishiki gets the assign from his catcher. Omeno, he's ready to go back to work, and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. What's also neat about this lefty Kirishiki, only 16 pitches for balls, 42 strikes. He is absolutely dealing tonight. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Adachi has gone out on strikes. That pitch was a good pitch by the lefty. I think that might have been a little bit off the plate. It looked like it was going to come and get the back or the outside corner. Adachi had no choice but to try to swing and protect, and he goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki singled his last time up. He's 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a slightly open stance, and here is the pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So the strike festival continues. 44 of the 60 pitches have been for strikes. There is a fastball that is taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So sometimes looks are deceiving. We said back in the early part of the going when I saw this lefty take to the mound, and just the way that he's built, he actually, in some ways, has a body structure like a Dallas Keuchel. Of course, Keuchel is with the White Sox. There is a fastball that swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. He really doesn't throw much harder than 90 miles an hour. His top speed tonight has been 144 kilometers, which when you calculate out into miles is 90 miles an hour on the button. And he's been sitting there pretty much the whole night. Hasn't really deviated a whole lot. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kirishiki kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. It's just short of the temporary seating, and the count remains at 0-2. When we come back, we'll take a look around Major League Baseball on the in-between, as it is day 3 of the exhibition season in North America. I'll get you updated on the final scores from there. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. And it's a fastball swung on, and it's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. And the battle continues. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Wakatsuki. So Kirishiki ready to go back to work, but the catcher, Wakatsuki, asks for time, and he steps out of the box. Now we're ready to go back to work. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away right behind home plate. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check that. No balls and 2 strikes. This is pretty amazing. Only, as we said, only 14 balls out of 65 pitches. Again, the catcher, Wakatsuki, or the batter, Wakatsuki, steps out because he feels that Kirishiki's taking too much time. Trying to throw the rhythm of the pitcher off a little bit here. Here comes the 0-2 once again. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up behind home plate, and it looks like it's going to reach the seats. The catcher, Umeno, went all the way back, and he watches it just trickle into the second row. And we're going to do the 0-2 pitch all over again. 14 pitches this inning and 12 strikes for Kirishiki. Certainly no mystery here. He's coming right at the hitters. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is dribbled past the pitcher up the middle. It's going to get past the second baseman, and that's a 2-strike base hit for Wakatsuki. That's his second hit of the ball game, and he is aboard once again, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Kodai Sano. So hats off to the batter, Wakatsuki. He was able to fight it off, and he was able to get himself a base hit. And he is aboard here with 2 away, and that leaves it up to the 9-hole hitter, Sano. Sano tonight is 0 for 1. Here we go. We're ready to go back to work. And the first pitch, it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sano. Kirishiki ready to deliver again. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from Kirishiki. It's a fastball delivered, and it's swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kirishiki looking to finish this one off. As we mentioned, it's been a rather quiet crowd in Osaka, relatively speaking. 1 ball and 2 strikes, certainly by Japanese standards. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Kirishiki kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called 3rd strike. Sano stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for strike 3. And that is going to do it here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 5 complete innings. It is the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to talk some Major League Baseball. So hold tight. We'll be here after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a look around the Major League scoreboard as it was day 3 of spring training action in the Cactus and Grapefruit Leagues. Well, kicking off, the Detroit Tigers dropped 1 to the Pittsburgh Pirates today, 6-3. It was Burroughs getting the win for the Pirates. Hill took the loss for the Tigers. Boston Red Sox knocked off the Minnesota Twins 1-0. Kelly picks up the win for the Red Sox. Stashik takes the loss for the Twins. Red Sox go to 3-0 on the spring. The Twins drop to 0-3. Toronto Blue Jays lost 3-2 to the Philadelphia Phillies. It was Miller getting the win for the Phillies, and Ryan Borucki took the loss for the Blue Jays. The Atlanta Braves and the Tampa Bay Rays played to a 4-4 tie. The Marlins knocked off the Houston Astros today, a 10-2. Pablo Lopez got the win for the Marlins. Endersby takes the loss for the Astros. Another tie game in Sarasota. The Yankees tied the Orioles 3-3. Chicago Cubs got the win, their second of the exhibition season. They beat the Padres 5-4. Rucker got the win. Camarena takes the loss. McCarthy got the save for the Cubs. The Chicago White Sox took one on the chin to the Guardians today. The Cleveland Guardians pounded out 15 hits en route to an 11-2 victory. Scott gets the win for the Guardians. Moore takes the loss for the Chi Sox. The Texas Rangers got bombed by the Milwaukee Brewers today, 11-0. Perdomo picks up the win for the Brew Crew. Dunning takes the loss for the Rangers. The Angels knocked off the D-backs 12-5. Angels pounded out 19 hits today. Ponce de Leon got the win. Straley takes the loss as he has come back over to North America after time overseas. Mariners beat the Dodgers 7-6. Stout gets the win. It looks like it's Pepiot takes the loss for the Dodgers. Onishko gets the save for the Mariners. The Giants knocked off the Rockies 8-5. DeJesus gets the win, and Duncan takes the loss. The other 2 finals on the board, the Mets beat the Nationals 6-2. Taiwan Walker got the win. Josiah Gray takes the loss for the Nats. And lastly, the Cincinnati Reds behind the pitcher Tyler Mahle knocks off Sean Manaea. The Reds beat the Athletics 9-3, and there are your Grapefruit and Cactus League finals from around Major League Baseball. And they've completed the field work over here, and we're about ready to resume the action. And we're looking forward to get this one going all over again. As we say, it's the proverbial Japanese halftime. This is where they come out and look after the field and get it all prepped up and ready to go. For the Hanshin Tigers, they'll be sending the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate. It's slated to be Nakano, and then it is going to be Yamamoto, who has come in for Marte and Sato. So 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And it looks like it's still going to be Yamazaki on the hill as looks like he's coming back out to work. As we mentioned, they probably take these guys to 80 to 100 pitches, the starters tonight. It's been a brilliant performance by Kirishiki. Of course, they want to get their guys ready going into the season. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night. We're going to be doing the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Saitama Cebu Lions. And that'll wrap up the exhibition schedule for us before we get going at midnight on Friday next week, Pacific time. It'll be 3 a.m. Eastern time as we're going to get you on the call for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chiba Lotte Marines. We're excited to give you the call of that one. So 84 pitches through 5 innings for Yamazaki. One would think that this will be his last inning of work. He's allowed 3 hits in this ball game so far. 2 singles to Wakatsuki and a double to Ravello. And he has improved his efficiency as the game has gone on. He started off with 21 pitches in the first inning, but each subsequent inning he's become a little bit more economical. One would think that this will be his last inning of work. So he's completed his tune-up tosses. Ball is being flipped around the infield, and we're ready to get this one back underway. So Nakano comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out twice to second. He's 1 for 6 in the exhibition play. He's batting 167. And here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakano. Yamazaki goes back to work, and there's a fastball that misses off the inside part of the plate. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamazaki is picking up his pace here with nobody on. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Both of the pitchers have got themselves into a groove with shutouts on both ends here. And there's a fastball that's swung on and it's driven into the netting behind the third base side of home plate. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakano. Yamazaki ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. Again, another fastball. This is swung on. This is going to get over the netting, and it's going to get into the seats down the third base line. And the count remains at 1-2. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher. Wakatsuki goes back to work. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count runs now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lofted over to the shortstop. Kobayashi has to go backwards. He leaps. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Nakano. Soft line drive, but it was a difficult play for the shortstop. He had to turn and run back on the baseball. He's able to make the play as he had to leap a little bit. He kind of has a bit of a smile on his face as he made a relatively easy play a little bit more challenging. It's going to bring up the pinch hitter or the replacement for Jeffrey Marte. This is Yoshihiro Yamamoto. He is 0 for 3 in spring training action. And here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamamoto bats from the right side. He wears 00 on his uniform. Yamazaki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. We don't always get the view of the bullpen. Some of the bullpens are under the stadium, and there is a fastball that is underneath the hands, and Yamamoto could not hold up, couldn't check his swing, and he goes down on strikes for out number 2 here in the 6th inning, so 2 up and 2 away. That's going to leave it up to Teruaki Sato. It was almost self-defense. I don't think he intended to swing, but he certainly couldn't hold up his bat. Almost looked like he wanted to get out of the way. So with 2 away, that brings up the right fielder Sato. Sato is 0 for 2 tonight. Yamazaki goes into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sato. Sato has a fairly upright stance, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses under the hands. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As we mentioned earlier with Sato the last time up, we said he's got to cut down on his strikeouts this year. And that is probably with more experience. One would think he's going to be able to put ball into play. Plate discipline would be better for him this year to improve. I think as somebody who's scouting, you want to see somebody improve their discipline at the plate, cut down on their swing and misses, have a little bit more competitive at bats. And there is a breaking ball that drops in, and the count is now 3-1 to Sato. But he's got a lot of power for a young fella. But he's going to be a little bit more disciplined and have some deeper at bats. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken at the knees on the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sato really didn't like the call, but that was a great pitch by Yamazaki. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Again, set up inside. It's a fastball. They come in. He checks his swing, and he just catches it right off the knob of the bat. Sato walks around. He's not very happy. We're going to watch that one again on the replay. And you can see it just got it off the knob of the bat, and he fouls it away. Keeps the count at 3-2. If I remember correctly, I believe that's how Masataka Yoshida last year ended up on the disabled list. Took a pitch right off the knob of the bat, hit him in the bottom part toward the wrist, and ended up putting him out for about 20 or 30 games. And there is a pitch delivered to Sato. This ball is swung on. It's lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Yoshida. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. So the side for the Tigers are retired 3 up and 3 down. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. One would think that Yamazaki's day is done, and based on what we're seeing from the manager, Yano, that could also mean Kirashiki's day could be done too. We might be seeing a pitching change for the Hanshin Tigers. We'll be back in just a couple moments. After this, we've got Jack Schwartzhoff in the house. Jack, welcome. Thanks for being here. We'll be back after this with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving here now to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we've got like father, like son in the house, and we appreciate you for stopping in tonight, Joe. And we are going to be seeing the bottom of the 6th inning for the Orix Buffaloes, but they're going to be sending the top of the order up, scheduled to come to bat. Shuhei Fukuda, Rangel Ravello, and Masataka Yoshida. That's the 1, 2, 3 hitters in the batting order. One would think that Yamazaki's day will be done for the Buffaloes, but you never know. He's only at 102 pitches. He might just be getting warmed up. The Japanese league, sometimes they bring guys. I remember last year, I think it was Ray Takahashi for Fukuoka went to like 120 pitches. something crazy. So we'll see how this is about to work out. But we do have a pitching change for the Hanshin Tigers, and we will get that change for you in just a moment. And they also got a change in right field. It is Kamagi who is coming in to replace Sato. So Sato's deal is done, and we'll double check where he's going to go into the batting order. We have a new pitcher for the Tigers. This is number 36. This is Masumi Hamachi. He will be the second pitcher used by the Tigers tonight. He is a right-hander. So Hamachi into the ball game, replacing Kirishiki, who had a great outing through 5. And so the first pitch is a fastball delivered for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Fukuda tonight is officially 0 for 1. He walked in the first inning and struck out looking in the third. So right-hander against the left-hander, and here's the pitch. It is squared to bunt. It's a good one. It gets past the pitcher, and the first baseman, Yamamoto, fields it, and he throws it wild. It's fielded by the second baseman covering, and they're going to nail Fukuda at second base. What a crazy play. So first of all, the bunt was beautiful. It was past the pitcher. The first baseman ended up fielding the ball. That was Yamamoto. He threw it wildly to first base. The second baseman who was coming over was able to get to the bag. For some reason, he throws it to the first baseman. It's wild. The second baseman picks it up and he guns it down to second, and the shortstop applies the tag, and that is going to go down as a 1-4-3 putout. But we're going to have to see. I have a feeling it's going to be an E3 and then 1-4-3 at second base for out number 1. Absolutely wild play. So that is the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Rangel Ravello. And Ravello takes the first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The only thing we needed was the Benny Hill music yakety sax to provide some entertainment. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Ravello, and it's a breaking ball down to the dirt. The count now goes to 1-1. You know, we're in a nothing ball game here. I know it's exhibition play, but one would think that, you know, there might be a possibility of, even if the batter runner stays at first base, got the top part of the batting order here to do some damage. And there is a breaking ball swung on. And this is tap foul over on the third base line. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ravello gets to wear number 42 over here. Of course, that's Jackie Robinson's number. It has been retired in Major League Baseball for years. But he gets to wear a 42 in the Japanese League. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded neatly by Onodera. He throws over to first. I think that's Obata. Check that. That's Obata who's over at second. And that is going to retire Ravello. That goes as a ground out, 4-3. And that is going to be out number 2. Like father, like son says, are you doing an NPB game or are you doing a game like you and Big D on the show? Yeah, well, it's a little bit comical. And that is going to do it. We've got 2 batters faced for the right-hander. They brought in Hamachi to face 2 batters, and he does the job, and he's getting high fives back to the dugout. Now they're going to bring in a lefty to face Masataka Yoshida. And so this is interesting, and this is always one of my favorites. They bring in the player who's wearing the triple-digit numbers. This is Yuta Watanabe. He is wearing number 128. So if you're looking for a NPB jersey and you're thinking you might want to buy something, look for the one with the triple-digit numbers. So Yuta Watanabe into the ball game, and he gets to face one of the best hitters in all the NPB, and Masataka Yoshida. Sure, they want to see what he can do. He's pitched 4 innings. He's got an ERA of 4.5. in the exhibition season. So Yuta Watanabe, I would assume this might be the only batter that he is going to face. So Yuta Watanabe in the game, the lefty. They still have 8 training players on their roster due the Hanshin Tigers. Some of these guys will get the opportunity to participate in the spring training games. More than likely, they will be down on the farm with the farm team at least to begin the year. So Watanabe is in. Masataka Yoshida comes to the plate. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. We'll see what this is about to bring. We're here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. There's 2 away. Yoshida tonight is 0 for 2. He lined into a double play, and he's flown out to center. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Watanabe on the left side is really, really low. He works from the first base side of the pitching rubber, but he throws across his body, and he almost looks like he's throwing at the hitter, and then it comes across the plate. There's another fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. So Jack Schwartzhoff is in the house here. We welcome you to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. We're glad you could make it. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Watanabe throws another fastball. This is down in the dirt. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack says, can anyone tell me who's going to win? Hard to make those predictions in an exhibition game, Jack. It's nothing game. We've got the defending champions are the Orix Buffaloes. It's been a well-pitched game by both, but now they're getting into substitutions like crazy. I would think during the regular season, you'd have to give the edge to the Buffaloes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that is swung on. It is fought off and lifted foul down the third base line. It's going to take 1 bounce and go into the temporary seating. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Watanabe gets the sign from his catcher, Umeno, and he's ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers, and it is a fastball swung on and missed. And Yoshida goes down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it. So Watanabe comes in and does his job. And the Buffaloes go down 1-2-3 in their half of the 6th inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers nothing, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for the call of the top of the 7th inning. We appreciate you stopping by. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Reps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Reps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning, and it is going to be some changes coming up here. The Orix Buffaloes are going to the bullpen. They are going to a left-hander, and that is the end of the day for Sachiro Yamazaki. Both the starters today were excellent. Yamazaki going 6 innings, and of course, Kirishiki going 5 shutout innings. What's most impressive about Kirishiki in his outing is he only threw 14 balls in his 5 innings of work. He filled up the zone. He threw over 60 strikes. And so it is going to be a lefty coming in for the Buffaloes. It is going to be number 57, and this is going to be Nobuyoshi Yamada. So Nobuyoshi Yamada checks into the game, and there are other changes as we move along, but as it is exhibition, we'll have to tell you as they come to the bat, we're not getting all the immediate changes defensively, and we're not quick enough to be able to keep up. So number 57, the lefty Yamada, now in to take over for Yamazaki. And here we get going. He's going to face Dan Onodera, Ryohei Obata, and then he's going to face the third baseman, Yasutoki Oyama. So the first pitch to Onodera is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and it is 1-0. The exhibition season, Onodera is 4 for 20. He's batting 200. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. So Jack says the NPB is greater than March Madness. Well, not sure about that, but certainly in another week or so, when the regular season gets going, it'll be interesting for sure. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 3-0. So Yamada has come into the game, and all he has done is thrown balls. It's 3-0 to the hitter Onodera. This is his first at bat of the ball game. He came in to replace Itohara. And here comes the 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. The NPB regular season gets going. We'll be on the airwaves on Friday at midnight for the NPB season opener between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chibalote Marines. That's midnight Pacific time. If you're on the west coast of Canada, the United States, there's a fastball that swung on and it's fouled straight back, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Onodera. Base runners have been at a premium in this ball game for both teams. Only 2 hits tonight for the Tigers. The Buffaloes have 3. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 3-2. We get into this portion of the game, and our scorecard looks like a coloring book. As we said, we got all kinds of substitutions going on. This is the final tune-up of the exhibition season for both of these clubs. They'll be in action on Friday as well. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And it's a fastball swung on. It is popped up to the first base side of home plate. And that's going to reach the seats. Our friend, like father, like son, says that is the Marines. That is correct. Edney Hechevarria, his team will be playing on Friday in the NPB opener. It's the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Hopefully you can join us. That's 3 a.m. Pacific time, midnight on the West Coast. So here comes the 3-2 pitch all over again. Yamada kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to get over the netting and into the seats. And that is going to keep the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We haven't quite got the attendance for tonight's game yet, but there it is. Tonight's official attendance is 19,943, not as many as last night. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit down the right field line, and it's just foul. The first base umpire was standing right there, and that ball has gone foul, and we're going to have this at bat continue. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Onodera, who started off 3-0, has fouled off pitches and now battled. The lefty Yamada fell behind, and now he's found a groove, and the batter, Onodera, has been battling tooth and nail here. So here comes the 3-2 pitch all over again. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. It takes a funny hop. It's off the glove of Mune. It's into left field. It's fielded by Yoshida. Digging hard for 2 is the batter runner Onodera, and he is going to get in to second. We're going to have to get the official scoring on that one, but I believe that might be an error. Might be a harsh error. We're going to see that one again on the replay. Ball was scorched. Sometimes it was a chopper, and it takes the second hop. When it took the hop, it took a crazy hop over top of Mune's head. But I think in what we've seen here, that ball should have been played by Mune. That just ate him up. And it can really pick up some steam, and it ended up hitting off his glove and getting into left field. And Onodera is aboard at second base with a leadoff something or other. And as I say, we're going to have to get that official score for you here in a minute. So he is aboard. He is at second, and that is going to bring up Ryuhei Obata. And Obata right away squares to bunt. He gets it down. They take a look at the runner going to third, but they have no chance in getting him. Obata is going to be out on a sacrifice bunt. That's going to go out 1-3. The runner Onodera advances to third. And that is one away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yusuke Oyama. We have not got the official scoring on that yet. We're looking for the official scoring on this one here. It looks like it was like they may give him a double on that one. I'm not sure about that one. Would have given it the E5 to Mune, but I'll have to wait and see. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the night for Yamada. They're going to make a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to the bullpen. Yamada, they have seen enough. So a 10-pitch at bat to get things going to Onodera, and then a sacrifice bunt by Obata puts the runner on third base with one away. And they're going to the bullpen. It is going to be a right-hander, and this is going to be Hayate Nakagawa. And Hayate Nakagawa is going to join the fray here. Nakagawa will be set to face the third baseman Oyama. He is a sidewinder, and he's a ground ball pitcher. They're hoping, obviously, to keep something on the ground, not to get elevated. When you think of him, think of Darren O'Day from the Major League Baseball, of how Darren O'Day, the former Oriole, and last time I saw, I think O'Day was with the New York Yankee organization. So Jack asked the question. Sorry, Jack, I'm not always looking at the chat. Do we like Purdue or Texas tomorrow? I got Purdue going all the way to the finals in my bracket and losing to Kansas. So I'm going all the way with Purdue tomorrow. But don't listen to me for all your advice on the basketball front, because the rest of my brackets haven't been doing so well. And so here comes the first pitch. It is a changeup that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Oyama. So Nakagawa on the hill now for the Buffaloes. The infield is in. The runner at third is Onodera. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball. It's swung on, and it's fouled right into the catcher at home plate. And for all the male members of our audience that are listening, Wakatsuki is down in a little bit of pain. He took that one in the area close to the family crown jewels. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nakagawa gets ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined foul down the first base line. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, I think the Purdue Boilermakers are going to I think they're going right to the NCAA finals. I think they're going to take out, I believe they're in the same bracket as Duke. I have to look at the top of my head, but I think I've got Duke going to the Final Four, but it'll be it for Mike Krzyzewski. So here's the pitch. It's a fastball. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Sugimoto makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is not going to be in time, and that is the first run of the ball game. It's going to be a sacrifice fly to 9. I would question that particular pitch. You've got a sidewinder on the hill who's got who's throwing his pitches down, and then they call for a pitch upstairs. He threw it where he wanted to, but the pitch was elevated. The batter, Oyama, was able to turn on the pitch, drive it into right field, where it was an easy sacrifice fly. And that puts the Hanshin Tigers up 1-0 and opens the scoring here in the top of the 7th inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Ryotaro Umeno. And the first pitch to Umeno is swung on, and it's tapped foul down the third base line. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Not sure what the rationale for that pitch location would have been in that situation. I can understand it where you're going to elevate in most situations, but not with a runner on third and with a ground ball pitcher on the mound. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. So Umeno steps in. He's 7 for 26 in the exhibition season, and the first pitch delivered is a fastball down. That one floated up to the plate at a mere 62 miles an hour. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a fastball that misses in, and the batter Umeno had to skip out of the way, and the count is now 2-1. Something we haven't really seen in the 2 years of covering the NPB or watching the NPB exclusively. We haven't seen a lot of violence, not a lot of bench clearing brawls or anything like that. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded neatly by the shortstop. Kobayashi throws to first, and that is going to retire Umeno. That's going to be a ground out 6-3. But we finally open the scoring here. We've got 1 run in the ball game that came in this inning. There was a 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Orix Buffaloes 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a moment. Here is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt, and we are back to give you the bottom of the 7th inning, and it is the Orix Buffaloes coming to bat. It's slated to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. That means Yutaro Sugimoto, Yumamune, and Kataro Kobayashi. And it looks like they're going to be facing yet another pitcher on the mound for the Hanshin Tigers. They're going to the bullpen, and they are bringing in a number 69, and this is going to be Daichi Ishii. So Daichi Ishii is going to be taking over. He will be the 4th pitcher of the day for the Tigers. And we'll get you their specs in just a moment. And if I'm not mistaken, I have to do a double check, but I believe that Daichi Ishii And nope, I was going to say I thought he had a brother, but no, I don't think it's he who has the brother. So Daichi Ishii is taking over for the Tigers. And it'll be Sugimoto, Mooney, and Kobayashi to face them off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And so the first pitch to Sugimoto is a fastball swung on and fouled away on the first base side. And the count is quickly 0-1. Sugimoto tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out both times to the plate. He is 10 for 42. He's batting .238 in the exhibition season with no homers and 8 runs batted in. There's not been a lot of home runs in this exhibition season that we've seen so far. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low, and the count is now 1-1 to Sugimoto. Sugimoto is a big man. He stands in on the right side of the plate. He's getting the start in right field. I don't know if he necessarily runs particularly well, but for a big fella, he's not bad. And so he's not your prototypical Japanese player. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. It's called strike. Sugimoto is not very happy. His eyes almost rolled out the back of his head. Steps out of the box. Usually speaking, there's a rule of thumb. The catcher's got to catch the pitch for it to be a strike, and that ball popped out of the catcher's mitt. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Ishii delivers. It's a split finger pitch. This is swung on. It is lifted behind home plate on the first base side, moving back over to the wall is the catcher, and that's Umeno, but he's just going to watch that go into the seats. And the count is now going to remain at 1-2. Sugimoto certainly unimpressed with the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 2 strikes after those last couple of pitches. And here comes the pitch from Ishii. This ball is delivered. It is swung on. It is hit on the screws. Coming in hard is the left fielder, Onodera, and he's going to make the catch on the run. That ball was scorched by Sugimoto. But his night continues to be tough luck, and he goes down on a line drive to the left fielder for out number 1 here in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th. We were talking about this the other night. We said there's line drives, and then there's line drives that have a little hump in it. That one was a line drive, and it had a slight hump in it, and the outfielders at this level can track those balls down. Balls that don't have humps can shoot the gaps or can get down, but that one had just a slight hump in it and stayed up long enough for the charging left fielder, Onodera, to be able to come and get it. There's the first pitch to Mooney. He takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Mooney tonight is officially 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, and he's flown out to right. Right-hander against the left-hander. Here's the pitch from Ishii. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. The count goes now to 0-2. As we said earlier in the stream, we felt that Mooney is really had a solid season last year, really started to come into his own. He looks a lot more relaxed at the plate early here now. So here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's a split finger pitch that misses down and in. The count is 1-2. One would think that when you know that your name is going to be in the lineup every night, you don't have to necessarily worry so much. You're trying to find your way into the lineup. Sometimes guys press a little bit more. But Mooney here just seems a little bit more relaxed in the early season. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Let's see, another split finger pitch and another pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. Last year, Mooney may have been swinging at those pitches, but good discipline, and he's able to stay relaxed. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ishii gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. There's a fastball that comes inside, and Mooney's been hit. If you're going to get hit, that's the spot to do it. Got him right in the backside. Mune is going to be aboard with a hit by pitch. There's certain spots that you don't want to get hit, but if you're going to take a choice to get hit somewhere, that is the spot to get hit. And it looks like he's got one of his batting gloves in the back pocket, and it looked like it got him right off the batting glove. So he's got a set of gloves on, and he has another pair in his back pocket. It gave him a little bit extra cushion. So Mune is aboard with a hit by pitch. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. For Kobayashi tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's popped out to second, and he's flown out to center. He's hitting .333 in the exhibition season. He's got a homer and 3 runs batted in. And here's the pitch from Ishii. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded on one hop to second. Flipped it over to the shortstop, covering over to first, and that is going to be a double play. It is a 4-6-3 variety, as Kobayashi has grounded into the double play to end the inning. So for the Buffaloes in their half of the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 7 complete. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the call at the top of the 8th inning after this update from our Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is going to be the 9-1-2 hitters slated to come to bat in the batting order for the Hanshin Tigers. And they are either making moves right now. We're getting all kinds of changes, and we expect that we're going to have yet another for the Orix Buffaloes. They've got a left-hander coming into the ball game, and we will get you that change in just a moment. It looks like it is going to be the left-hander, number 26, Atsushi Nomi. So Nomi is coming into the ball game. He is not a young fella. He is a serious veteran of the NPB. He is 42 years old. He'll be 43 in May. So Nomi coming in to replace the sidewinder who was replaced. That was Nakagawa, who is now out of the ball game. Yuma Mune has been replaced as well as the third baseman, and we will get you that update in just a couple moments. But it looks like it's Noguchi that is coming in to replace him. So Atsushi Nomi in the game. And as we mentioned, we will give you all the rest of the updates as we're able to get them. Slated to come to bat is supposed to be Mel Rojas Jr., but we are going to get a pinch hitter for him. So we have a pinch hitter for Rojas Jr. This is number 58. This is Ikyo Maegawa, and he hits from the left side. So lefty versus lefty matchup, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So Rojas was the designated hitter hitting in the 9 spot. And Maegawa comes in for him, and he takes a fastball off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So Yukio Maegawa at the plate takes a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Nomi ready to go back to work again. He gets the sign from his catcher. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the left field line. The count now goes even to 2-2. We see that Jack has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate you, Jack. Thanks for doing that. Hopefully you'll be with us for the call of the games during the season, whether live or on delay. We do some Major League games from time to time as well. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here is the pitch to Maegawa. He kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly to second. It's fielded by Adachi. He throws to first, and that is going to get rid of Maegawa on a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1. That is slated to bring up the top of the order, Koji Chikamoto. We're going to see if Chikamoto is going to bat here as well. As we said, top of the order has changed quite a bit. They're only playing 9 innings in the exhibition season. And we do have a pinch hitter for Chikamoto, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Another left-handed batter to face the lefty here. We'll see if we can get the update on who that is for Chikamoto. There is a pitch that's a breaking ball down in the dirt. This is Kairi Shimada. He is 9 for 28 in exhibition play. He's batting .321. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's taken for a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. So Shimada waits on the 1-2 pitch. And there is a fastball that's down in the dirt. Nice block there by the catcher, Wakatsuki. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nomi gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count now goes to 3-2. I would say this, that I don't like the way that the catcher received the ball. He received the ball and then he tried to jerk it back inside. He didn't do a good job of backhanding the ball. So there comes the 3-2 pitch from Nomi. It's a fastball swung on. It's tap foul just behind the first base side of home plate. The count now goes to, or remains at 3-2. The catchers have got to be able to make those pitchers look like they're all Americans, or all world players in this case, or all Japanese. Not all average. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left center field. It's over the head of the shortstop, Kirbayashi. It's going to get down for a base hit, and Shimada is aboard with a 1-out single. So he is aboard, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Takumo Nakano. As we said, we've got changes all over the place now, and we're going to have to catch up on some of those as we see. There's even been some positional movement as well. So Shimada is on with a base hit. That's going to bring up Takuma Nakano. And here's the pitch from Nomi. It is a fastball delivered for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Nakano today is officially 0 for 3. He's grounded to second twice, and he's popped out to short. He's 1 for 7 in the exhibition season. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. Be interesting to see how this crafty lefty works on the mound. I wonder if he's got a good old A move over to first base. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He does throw over to first, and getting back easily is the base runner, Shimada. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Nakano. Here comes the pitch. Nomi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. Off goes to second base as the runner. The throw down to second is in time, and they are going to get the base runner. It's going to go down as a caught stealing, 2-6 for the second out of the inning. The last pitch was definitely a ball outside, but the hitter waved at it to protect the runner. So that's going to make the count now 1-2. I wonder if they'll take a look at this. The tag was a little bit up the leg, but I guess they're not. I would have said that they might have had an opportunity to look to see if that would have been possibly reviewable. There's a breaking ball that's down, and the count is now 2-2. I know that the Buffaloes lost a review early in the first inning, right to the first batter. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count now goes to 3-2. Actually, it might have been the third batter of the game that they lost their review. So here we go. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Nomi. Cano stands in, kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's lined right to the third baseman, and that is going to be it. Ball was hit right on the screws, so Nomi does his job. He gets them unconventionally 1-2-3. So for the Tigers, in their half of the eighth inning, they had no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7.5. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. We'll be back in just a couple moments for the bottom of the eighth inning. For those of you who've checked in late night tonight, we're glad you could be here with us. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the eighth inning, and the pitching changes are coming fast and furious for both of these clubs now. The Hanshin Tigers are going to the bullpen. The line tonight for the Tigers is 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. The Buffaloes have no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. It's been a well-pitched ball game and a well-played ball game from a defensive standpoint, except for that one particular circus play that took place earlier in the game. And so now we have a left-hander on the mound for the Hanshin Tigers. This is going to be Suguro Iwazaki. He is coming in. This is going to be the 5th pitcher for the ball game for the Hanshin Tigers. So Iwazaki entering the fray. Taking over for Daichi Ishii. So Iwazaki ready to take over on the mound. As we said, our scorecard looks like a coloring book here as it is later into these exhibition games. And we see Big Ray has checked in tonight. Welcome, Big Ray. Thanks for being here. We're glad you could make it into the stream tonight. So it's supposed to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the batting order for the Buffaloes. We're going to take a look to see what we can have here. We got, it's supposed to be Adachi, Wakatsuki, and Sano. But as we mentioned before, there's been a lot of changes in the lineup, so we're not sure where that is going to sit. So it looks like it is Ryo Adachi in the ball game, and the first pitch from Iwazaki is a fastball that swung on, missed. And the count is quickly 0-1. That's where we're still at. Adachi, Wakatsuki, and Sano are supposed to still be in the batting order, but you never know until somebody has to pinch hit. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. It's fielded neatly by the second baseman Obata. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Adachi by his opposite number. Ground out 4-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. For Wakatsuki tonight, he has been very solid at the plate. He has 2 hits in both of his trips to the plate. He's 2 for 2. Both have been singles. This game is only going to be 9 innings, no matter what, if it ends in a draw or not. The exhibition games over in the Japanese League have been played for 9. As a reminder, we will be on the stream again tomorrow night. Hopefully you can make it in. Here comes the first pitch now to Wakatsuki, and it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Wakatsuki. Sano is waiting his turn on deck. There's a pitch that misses outside to Wakatsuki, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball. This is swung on, and it is driven foul down the right field line, and the count is now 2-1. Both the starters, Yamazaki for Orix and Kirishiki for the Hanshin Tigers, were outstanding today. And so this is not Wakatsuki at the plate. This is number 25. And there is a fastball that misses down. And we have to, as we said, we have to get the changes. So number 25 for the Buffaloes is Ryo Nishimura. So Nishimura into the game for Wakatsuki, pinch hitting here. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. And here's the pitch. It is fastball down and in. And for the pinch hitter for the Buffaloes, he has got himself a base on balls. So Nishimura is aboard with a walk. It's slated to bring up Kodai Sano. And we're going to see what we have here, but we do have a pinch hitter for Sano. This is number 67. This is going to be Kaida Nakagawa. So Kaida Nakagawa entering the fray. Nakagawa stands in on the right side facing the left-hander, Iwazaki. Iwazaki holds at the chest. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So as we mentioned, get late into the game and the changes start to come fast and furious. So 1 ball and no strikes. Iwazaki kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander Iwazaki gets his sign. He's ready to go back to work. He checks the runner at first. He kicks and he delivers. There goes the runner, but he bluffs. He puts the brakes on and he comes back hard to first base. And that pitch was swung on and missed by Nakagawa. The count now goes to 1-2. You don't see that all that often these days in North American baseball, but that looked like it was a fake steal. Looked like he was going to turn and take off towards second. He threw on the brakes and he was able to get back to the base. Trying to put a little bit of pressure on the defense. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Iwazaki comes set at the chest. And this time he throws over to first base, and getting back in time is the base runner, Nishimura. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, they throw over to first base. And again, diving back in time is the base runner, Nishimura. So Iwazaki ready to go back to work again. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the hitter, Nakagawa. There's one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 1-2 count. Iwazaki comes set at the chest. He kicks in, he delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. A nice block by the catcher. Yamano does a good job of keeping it in front, and that is going to keep the count at, or it's going to bring the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iwazaki in relief. He's the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Hanshin Tigers. The base runner, Nishimura, establishes his lead at first. He's got 1 foot on the turf. Nakagawa stands in at the dish. Iwazaki comes set at the chest. He kicks and he delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. Boy, that pitch was pretty close. I'm not sure what the hitter was looking for, but it was down. It was a nice job by the catcher to be able to get underneath the pitch and to try to get it in for a strike. He really did well to work from the ground up. But unlike his counterpart, who was taking pitches away, that was a really good job. He almost got that pitch. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Nice call by the umpire. Sometimes we're not always complimentary to the men who are wearing black tonight. That was a very good call. So here comes the 3-2, and it's a fastball. This is swung on. It's popped up shallow over to first base. It's caught by the first baseman, and he slides feet first into first base, and they're going to double off the runner. The runner, Nishimura, was running on the pitch, and he could not get back to the base in time, and that is going to be a double play. So it was a bleed job over to the first baseman. The first baseman makes the catch, and then he races over to tag the bag for a double play. Some good heads-up baseball by the defense, and they get themselves out of a little bit of a pickle here. So for the Orix Buffaloes in the bottom of the 8th inning, they had no runs. There were no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We are now through 8 complete innings. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with the call of the top of the 9th inning. We're glad you could stop in and check it out tonight. We're glad you're with us. Would you like to support Last Raps Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan. But we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Raps Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We have Hitomi Honda on the mound for the Orix Buffaloes. There are a couple of changes here, and we'll try to get those for you as they become available. They are making some changes behind the plate at first and at second. But the one that we're interested in is Honda, who is now pitching. And he will be entering the fray here. And he is looking to finish this one off. They've got a new catcher, they've got a new first baseman, and a new second baseman. So as we said, we usually try to get those changes once we see some of the other stuff. But Honda in to close it off here for the Buffaloes. And who is he going to be facing this thing? It's supposed to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. It's going to be Yamada. And we are going to have a substitution for Sato, and then it'll be Onandera. So we'll see who we have coming up for Sato in just a moment. The first pitch delivered to Yamamoto is a fastball taken for a called strike on the inside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Yamamoto is 5 for 27 in the exhibition season. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-2. So Honda has come in throwing strikes right out of the gate. So here we go. There's the 0-2 pitch. And there's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 1-2. So Honda, it's Honda Hitomi, and he goes by Honda on his jersey, which is his first name. So Honda Hitomi. So here comes the pitch. This is a fastball that misses down and in. So there is a pinch hitter who is in here for Yamamoto. This is Seiya Kanami. So Seiya Kanami at the plate. This is the third player in that spot in the batting order. Kanami bats from the left side, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. It's going to be playable. Moving over underneath it is Masada Yoshida, who's still in the ballgame, one of the few starters who have remained in. Yoshida makes the catch, and that is going to do it for Kimachi, who has gone for out number one. That is going to bring up supposed to be bringing up Sato in the batting order, but it is going to be Kumagaya. Takahiro Kumagaya into the lineup to replace Teruki Sato. And the first pitch to him is a fastball swung on and fouled straight back. The count is 0-1. I'm sure that some of these guys are already off to the showers and getting ready to head out on the town after they've got a few-day break before the season opens up. So Takahiro Kumagai at the plate. And there's a breaking ball delivered to him, and it is down. Takahiro Kumagai. Or Kumage. I'm not sure how they would enunciate that. There's a couple of different spellings, and neither one are helping me out here, so I apologize to him. And there's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Honda ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers, and there's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got one more night of exhibition baseball tomorrow. As we said, we'll do the Swallows and the Lions, and then we will be back at it on Friday at midnight for the season opener of the NPB. So hopefully you can make it in and join us. Looking for a great night of baseball. And there's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And that will retire the pinch hitter for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to Dan Onandera. Onandera doubled his last time up and has scored the only run of the ball game. There is action in the Orix bullpen if needed. So here comes the pitch to Onandera. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Onandera is 5 for 21. He's hitting .238 in the exhibition. He's got a homer to go with 5 RBIs. And there is a fastball. This is swung on. It is lifted into deep center field. Moving back on it, onto the warning track is the center fielder for the Buffaloes, and Fukuda looks like he's got room. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it in the top of the 9th inning for the Tigers. So the Buffaloes have got one chance to come and tie it up. In the top of the 9th inning, there were no runs, there were no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is the Hanshin Tigers 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We're coming back for the last half of the 9th inning. In just a moment, here is our friend Matt Hollis. and another Hollis build.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Atsuki Yuasa who is coming into the ball game, and he is going to be taking over on the hill. There are wholesale changes for the Tigers on defense. They have a new corner infield, but as we mentioned before, we will try to get you some of those updates when they come to bat, or if need be, because our scorecard at this point looks like a coloring book in the exhibition season, and so it is a bit challenging. And so coming up for the Orix Buffaloes, we do have a pinch hitter in the top of the order. This is going to be number 0 for the Buffaloes. This is going to be Haruto Watanabe. He is going to get his first at bat as he is replacing Fukuda. So Watanabe takes the first pitch for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Watanabe. Yuasa ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is delivered, and it's fouled away. And now the count runs to 1-2 on Watanabe. We're here in the bottom of the 9th inning. It is a 1-0 ball game. We said that the attendance tonight was just shy of 20,000. Once this game is complete, we'll give you a quick rundown on the scores from the other games around the league. And then we will call it an evening here at the Casera Dome, giving you the call of the Buffaloes and the Hanshin Tigers. And there is a fastball swung on. It's tapped down the first baseline, but it's going to go foul. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. Rangel Ravello is supposed to be on deck. We'll see if he's going to get another opportunity to swing the bat tonight. He was the designated hitter. And then Masataka Yoshida is third. I would think that he may get another opportunity. He was in the field defensively. It is a home game for the Buffaloes, yet though both of these teams do play in the Osaka area. And we said the Buffaloes also play home games in Kobe. And there is a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is now 2-2. The Kintetsu Buffaloes and the Orix Blue Wave merged together. And the Buffaloes, of course, used to play in Kobe. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. This is lifted foul down the left field line. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And Watanabe again swings and fouls this one off down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2. A bit of a self-defense swing by Watanabe there to stay alive. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. It is a split finger pitch. It misses down and away. The count now runs to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We look to see if from the above angle to see if Watanabe did offer, and the home plate umpire said he didn't go, but it was probably a 50-50 call. I wouldn't want to try that again with 2 strikes. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. And Yuasa kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses up, and that is ball 4. And Watanabe is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. So he is the runner at first base, and now we have a conference on the mound. The entire infield is in. They're going to be chatting here a little bit. One would think in a normal situation, we would have the bunt. That's exactly what we're probably going to see as Ravello is done for the night. We are going to have a pinch hitter, and this is going to be Shunta Goto. So Shunta Goto is coming into the ball game to replace Ravello. Goto is 10 for 22 in the exhibition season with no homers and an RBI, but one would think in this situation he is going to be coming into bunt. They're going to try to get this runner over to second and into scoring position. So here comes the pitch, but instead it's thrown over to first base, and diving back to the bag in time is Watanabe. Leadoff walks usually kill you. And this is the situation that the Hanshin Tigers find themselves in. So the runner at first is Watanabe. The batter here is Goto. He's the pinch hitter for Ravello. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. He showed no sign of bunting that time. Usually the Japanese players will square early. The whole park will know it's coming. But in this situation, Goto did not square. He is choked up on the bat. 1 ball and no strikes. Be curious to see if Orix is going to let him swing away. Watanabe establishes his lead. Here's the pitch. It's swung on. It's grounded over to first. They step on the bag, and they throw down to second. So it was a ground ball to first base. It was right to the base. The first baseman fielded the ball, stepped right on the bag. He fires down to second, and now the force is off. It becomes a tag play. They say Watanabe got under the tag. But it was an absolute, he had to throw it perfectly. The ball took a short hop to the infield side. And now we're going to see if they're going to go have a look at it. But instead, it looks like we've got a trip to the mound, and that is going to do it for Yuasa. So it goes down as a ground out to 3 for Goto. He is the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Masataka Yoshida. But while we wait for Yoshida to come to the bat, the Hanshin Tigers are going to the bullpen, and they are about to make a pitching change. They're bringing in a left-hander here to face Yoshida, and it looks like it is going to be Iwata. So we will get another training pitcher on the mound. So these are our favorite numbers. Number 122 is entering the ball game. This is Masataka Iwata. This is the second time tonight we have seen a training player in the game, and this will be the 6th pitcher of the ball game. Check that 7th pitcher of the ball game now used by Hanshin. So number 122 entering the fray. This is Masataka Iwata. For Iwata, he has appeared in 4 games. He's allowed 1 run. He's got a 2.25 ERA in the exhibition season. So Masataka Iwata into the ball game. And he's entrusted to have to face one of the top ones. So Vancouver is here. He's asking, is it 1 out? And the answer to that is yes. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The runner at second is Watanabe. Yoshida is coming to the plate. And obviously one of the most dangerous hitters in all of the NPB. And Iwata is here. Like father, like son says, rally time. Rally time, it could be it. So Yoshida comes to the plate. There's 1 away. Tonight, Yoshida has not had a great night at the office. He is 0 for 3. He's got the open stance, left-hander against the left-hander, and we're ready to get to work. And so the first pitch is a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Not sure about that pitch. That pitch looked like it was a little bit up and away in the zone, but Iwata got the call. So here we go. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Yoshida. Iwata looks in. He gets the sign from his catcher, and he comes set at the chest. Checks the runner at second. He delivers. It's a fastball that misses well off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Yoshida will be followed by the right fielder Sugimoto, should he get on. And we'll see if Sugimoto is going to get an opportunity to swing the bat or if they're going to go to the pinch batter here. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that pitch is a fastball. It's swung on. This ball is hammered to deep right field, but it's going to be playable. The right fielder makes the catch. Tagging is Watanabe, and he is going to easily make it into third. And that is going to put him over to third with 2 away. And we're supposed to see Sugimoto come to the plate, but we'll see if we're going to get a pinch hitter here. Ball was absolutely scorched by Yoshida. So Vancouver asks, how good is that guy that got signed by the Cubs? Was he the best player by far? My thoughts on Seiya Suzuki are this, is that he is, I would put him in the class right now of very similar to Hideki Matsui. Maybe not quite as good as Matsui, but time will tell. But he is that type of class of a player. So maybe the second best offensive player, if you don't include Otani in that conversation yet, behind Ichiro. So if Ichiro was the best and if Matsui was second best, I think Suzuki could fit in third right there. That's the kind of player that you're going to have. Well, the Tigers are making a pitching change. They are bringing in Ono in, and so they are making a change. So we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got 2 outs here, and this is going to be Taiki Ono coming into the ball game. This is going to be the 8th pitcher used. Unlike in Major League Baseball, where there is a 3-batter minimum, you don't see that in the NPB. They could bring in a guy to face 1 and then bring somebody else in. He's appeared in 5 games through 5 innings here in the exhibition season. He's got an ERA of 0. So he is coming in. He's getting his tune-up tosses. And with 2 away, we're going to check to see if they've made any announcements yet on the pinch batter. It still is supposed to be Sugimoto as we have listed here. And that's exactly, I believe, who is going to be coming to the plate. So Sugimoto, if it is still him, he's had a rough night at the office. He's 0 for 3. He's struck out twice, and he's lined out to left field. Oh, we appreciate you being here. Make sure you subscribe to us. We'll be back on again the air tomorrow. We're going to be calling the last game of the exhibition season. It'll be the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Saitama Cebu Lions. And then we're going to be doing all the live action beginning at midnight Pacific time next Friday as the NPB season gets going. It will be the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chiba Lotte Marines. That'll be the first game of the regular season. And you can check for updates on our YouTube page. as you move forward from there. So if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and hopefully stick around and we can give you more of the action. We certainly get a lot more people in during the regular season. So here we go, back to the live action. Sugimoto is the hitter. There's 2 away with a runner on third. And Ono is ready to go to work. And here comes the first pitch to Sugimoto. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Sugimoto is the big right-handed hitter. He has his bat well above his bill of his cap. He's got a slightly open stance, and here comes the 1-0 pitch from Ono. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Sugimoto can supply a little bit of power. He could end this game with 1 swing of the bat. So 2 balls and no strikes to Sugimoto. The crowd is, for the first time tonight, showing some life. There is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Should Sugimoto find a way on base, it'll be Tomoya Noguchi, who came in for Yumamune, who is slated to be the next hitter. So 3 balls and no strikes to Sugimoto. Ono has come in the game and has thrown 3 straight balls. Once the game is concluded, we'll make sure we give you all the information about the out-of-town scores. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and Sugimoto is aboard with a walk. Now that's going to put runners on the corners with 2 out, and that is going to bring up the pinch hitter. But it looks like Sugimoto is done for the evening. He runs all the way to first base with his bat in hand. They will have a pinch runner. The pinch runner coming into the ball game for the Buffaloes is going to be Yuya Oda. So Oda is coming in to pinch run. So now they got runners on the corners with 2 away. As we said, it's supposed to be Tomoya Noguchi to bat here, and we'll confirm that for you in a minute. And that's exactly who is coming to the plate. So it'll be Noguchi for hitting for Yumamune. So Noguchi steps up to the plate. He bats from the left side. He's got the slightly open stance, and Ono gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers, does Ono, and he spikes it into the ground, and the ball squirts away from the catcher. But the runner at third does not advance. However, the runner at first has now gone over to second base. So that is ball 1 to Noguchi. That would have been a crazy way for this game to get tied up. You've got 2 out here in the 9th inning. The reliever Ono, since coming into the game, has thrown 5 straight balls. And he spikes the first pitch to Noguchi into the dirt. So 1 ball and no strikes. Unbelievable. Noguchi stands in. Ono gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go to work. And there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now is 2-0. I think if I'm Noguchi, I'm just going to firmly plant the bat on my shoulder until this right-hander Ono can throw me a strike. So 2 balls and no strikes. There's runners at second and third, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Buffaloes are threatening to score and to take the lead. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. So never did a 1-run lead ever feel so much like it's about to slip through the fingers of the Hanshin Tigers. 3 balls and no strikes to the batter Noguchi. And here comes the pitch, and that fastball is not even close. That is ball 4. It is down in the dirt. And that is going to load the bases, and that's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Hanshin dugout. 8 consecutive balls. And Ono has loaded the bases. Let's see what they're going to decide here, if they're going to leave him in. I don't know if they've got anybody up in the bullpen. Sometimes we get the odd camera angle because the bullpen has the television cameras, and we can see that there's somebody heating up. It looks like they're going to leave him in. This, no matter what happens, this is going to be the last hitter of the ball game, as there will not be any extra innings in the exhibition play. And it's going to be Kotaro Kobayashi, the shortstop. Kobayashi tonight is 0 for 3. He has popped out to second. He's flown out to center, and he grounded into a double play his last time up. He is 9 for 28 in exhibition play. A base hit here should score 1 and could score 2. So Kobayashi stands in, and the first pitch he takes is a fastball off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. I say it could be the last one because if Kobayashi does walk here, then they've got another hitter to follow, which would be, right now, it would be Fukunaga. So 9 pitches and 9 balls for Ono so far. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0. I haven't seen anything like this since Rick Ankiel appeared in the big leagues a few years ago. 2 balls and no strikes. Grant G in the house says second and third and 2 out. That is correct. Yep, there's runners on second and third. Actually, the bases are now loaded. It's bases full of Tigers, or of Buffaloes. Tigers here on the hill. Ono kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and in, and it's now 3-0. So he is now almost going to walk in the game-tying run. This is unbelievable. He's walked the first 2 hitters he's faced. He's about to walk the third guy, and that's going to walk in a run. Absolutely incredible. So the runner at third is Watanabe. The runner at second is the pinch runner for Sugimoto. And Noguchi is at first. Here's the pitch to Kobayashi. It's a fastball that misses down. And that is 12 balls in a row by Ono. He has walked in the tying run. And Orix has now tied the game. Everybody's going to move up a spot on the bases. And there's not much that can be said from the dugout. And right now it's supposed to be Fukunaga Aga Show is supposed to be coming up to bat, so we're going to check on that in just a second. They have a conference on the mound to come out and talk to Ono. Let's see if Orix is sending a pinch hitter to the plate or if that's exactly who is going to be hitting here. They do have a pinch runner over at first base, but that really is meaningless. Other than the fact they don't want Kobayashi to get hurt. But we do have a pinch hitter coming in for Orix. This is going to be number 23. It looks like it's going to be Tori Fushimi. So Fushimi coming up to bat. And the first pitch to him is down for a ball. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Fushimi. You got to really feel in some ways sorry for Ono. He is absolutely collapsing here on the mound. I've not seen anything like this in a long time. This is an exhibition game. So Fushimi is the pinch batter. Bases are loaded. The game is tied at 1, and that is the 13th consecutive ball in a row that Ono has thrown. Ono steps off, picks up the rosin bag, and he's ready to go back to work. Certainly didn't expect to finish like this tonight's ball game. And Ono is he's going to be a 5-year veteran. And there's a fastball. It's over the head of the batter all the way to the backstop. And that is how the game is going to end, on a wild pitch. Ono threw a wild pitch right over the head of Fushimi, went all the way to the backstop, and crossing the plate from third is the pinch runner for Sugimoto. And this ball game is over. Unbelievable. Fushimi almost had his head taken off. And your final score is the Orix Buffaloes 2 and the Hanshin Tigers 1. Unbelievable. This is an absolutely incredible ending to the game. Fushimi was a little bit shaken up. Obviously, fastball zinging across your ears at almost 90 miles an hour. And that is going to do it. We're going to wrap this one up, as we're going to give you guys a couple of scores from the out-of-town scoreboard, but an absolute unbelievable ending to this game, as the fastball over the head of the pinch hitter Fushimi all the way to the backstop gives the final score, the Orix Buffaloes 2, the Hanshin Tigers 1. Absolutely incredible finish to this one, everybody. But once again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight who stopped in, whether you listened live or on delay. The final score in this one, the line score as follows. The Orix Buffaloes had 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The Hanshin Tigers had 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. Your final score from the Casera Dome, the Orix Buffaloes 2, the Hanshin Tigers 1. We'll take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters knocked off the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars 4-1. That game is over. The Tokyo Yomiuri Giants lost 2-1 to the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The Tokyo Yakult Swallows knocked off the Saitama Cebu Lions 2-1. The Ventolin Dome, the Chinichi Dragons beat the Chiba Lotte Marines 4-2. Obviously, the game here is a 2-1 final for the Orix Buffaloes over the Hanshin Tigers. And in the 8th inning, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have an 8-3 lead over the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. All right, everybody, listen, I hope you guys can come on back again tomorrow. We're going to be doing our game all over again. We'll be calling the Tokyo Yakult Swallows in the final game of the exhibition. They're going to play the Saitama Cebu Lions. And then we'll be back at midnight on Friday Pacific time for the first game of the NPB season, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Chiba Lotte Marines. Once again, everybody, you've listened to a Last Raps Baseball video production. Thanks again for stopping in tonight. We'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.